Hi everyone, my name is Nina, and for my Grassroots assignment, I decided to write a letter to legislative regarding the CARES Act. So the CARES Act is the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, and it was used when it began and was created when COVID first came upon and the economy began to fall. Businesses were shut down, some had to close temporarily, so a lot of jobs were lost, and everyone pretty much began to face hardships, and many also faced financial hardships. So the problem with this was the abuse that they had going on. So for instance, for those who weren't able to work, they began to receive unemployment. So they had received a percentage of what they were already making, and then they received an additional $600 every week. From that, there was also an increase on everyone's food stamp. And for those who were not able to pay their rent, they were not allowed to be evicted. So there was some things put in place and also funding to go ahead and help cover that part of their rent so that they did not face the eviction. What I'm asking for this is just for stricter guidelines and qualifiers. So while I'm at work, as a cashier at Walmart, I have a lot of customers, specifically the older population, that maybe they can't read the font on their receipt or something, and they ask me to help read the balance to them. And there's been plenty of times where we've had, families as well, and I've been able to see the ending balance, and it's not an ending balance of, maybe $200-300, $50. It's an ending balance of $2,000-3,000, and I've even seen more. Every weekend, I see the same customers coming in to buy the food, whether it's the same food or not. They're just always coming in faithfully to get that food for their home. And they always mention how, they wish they had a little part of that food stamps. Because of all the hours and everything with the kids that they have at home, it becomes hard to pay for it. Benefits like WIC, there's also insurance cards now that have OTC, so over the counter, you can get with the card, and they have healthy cards as well that qualify them, like for fruits, vegetables. These benefits do not roll over. These benefits are either being used or they're being lost. So it's a use or lose kind of situation. If they don't finish it, it does not roll over to the next month. They just don't get it. Now, when that time comes again in the month, they just get the exact same benefits. And then, per se, the same thing happens. You use it or lose it. Now, food stamps does roll over. So with that being said, they're not all being used. So I feel like that portion of the money could be used for someone who would actually, need that little bit of food stamps. And even if they're not receiving $2,000 a month, maybe that additional $100 could make a big difference. Now, the source of this funding is not needed. So the sourcing of this fund is actually, it's supposed to help save it. So instead of letting those food stamps roll over, pretty much giving them that limit and saying, okay, if you didn't use it this month, like you do the other benefits, it's not going to roll over to the next month. So that money, it's not technically being lost. It's going back into the funding and just waiting to actually be used. I also think that, they made the benefits a lot easier for people to qualify. So scammers began to make jokes about how easy it was to get the PPP loan. And I feel like if we actually look into it better and we make sure that it's being used correctly, that we can actually make a difference in what it is and not be in such a debt like we are now.